This week we are doing a what sold video, and we're going to share a keyword with you that sold one of our stalest items, and hopefully it will sell one of yours as well. So let's get started with eBay.
Let's get straight into it. So the first item is going to be a Lily Pulitzer dress.
Yeah, so this was a really beautiful, really colorful dress. As we always tell you, Lily Pulitzer, you want the bigger, the bolder, the more colorful, the better.
If it punches you in the face with color, that's the one you buy.
Yes, so this one sold for $52 on eBay.
Next is going to be a DVD. So we didn't have a whole lot of DVD sales. This is Tarzan, the old classics. It was a DVD collection.
Yeah, it was 6 feature films for this collection.
Sold for $20. And for DVDs, you want to look for the older films or titles, the box sets, anything obscure, anything from BBC or Acorn, or anything from abroad is worth looking up. Sold for $20, and it was not a terribly quick flip, but it was a decently quick flip.
Yeah. The next item, actually, we changed the title of this item with you guys on a video. I'm going to link that video up here if you didn't see it. It's super helpful, I think, for kind of going back and reviewing your old items. So we did that with this particular item. It is a Peruvian connection dress. We went in there, we changed the title because we saw that somebody else actually sold it very recently for a good amount of money, and we were like, why isn't ours selling then? So we just stole their title, and we sold it for $68 on eBay.
Yeah, so it's always important to go back and evaluate old listings, and we're going to talk about that more later on, but going back and reevaluating to sell those items is super important. Next is a staple item. It was a cacique bra, sold for $20. We've been mentioning more and more on the channel that we are trying to pick up as many staple items as we can, because those are the items that people are going to continue to buy, even if they are having to cut back on their fun spending and their splurging on fun items.
Yes.
So bras, jeans, work shoes, work clothes, anything that you can't avoid buying is worth picking up.
Definitely. The next item here is another DVD. It is called Story of Film. Now this one I picked up because it had multiple discs in it, but also because it had a really weird, creepy eye on it. If something looks really weird and creepy and you can't really place it, I definitely recommend scanning it. And I also wanted to mention that a lot of you guys have been asking me what my strategy for DVDs is, and we mentioned that in a few videos, but to kind of just give you the long and short of it, we scan these DVDs with the barcode scanner on eBay app, and we look for anything that sells for over $15. This one sold for $29.87, so right in the range that we're looking for. And yeah, we look for creepy and, as he said before, BBC and that type of thing. So just, get used to scanning them and seeing what comes up, and you'll have really good luck with DVDs. They're amazing, especially if you're an eBay seller.
Next is a J.Jill item. We haven't picked up J.Jill in a while. It's kind of been focused in on specific fabric materials. So linen, this one happened to be crushed velvet. It was like a jacket blazer.
We can't decide, okay? So it was
a blazer. It was a blazer.
It was unstructured blazer, but crushed velvet. It's very complicated, but I keyworded it as 90s inspired because crushed velvet. And it's beautiful, and I think it's really great for the Thanksgiving season, that cranberry color. So I think somebody was really kind of looking for it for the holidays.
Or Christmas even.
Or Christmas too. Yeah. So it sold for $30.
The next is an item that I actually found.
You did?
So you taught me about this brand, and I want to say thank you. Actually, the designer box taught us about the brand, to be perfectly fair.
Really, you guys did, because you let us know that we were undervaluing it when we pulled it out of that box.
So this is the Row shirt. It was a button-down, but it was cashmere somehow?
Yeah, it was cashmere button-down.
It was like a dress shirt, but cashmere.
It didn't even feel that different than a normal dress shirt to me.
I mean, it felt soft, but it was not cashmere, normal, soft.
It was just a nice dress shirt.
Yeah. Sold for $125. The Row, if you can find it, I don't think I've seen a single thrift store recognize the brand to this point. We found it a handful of times, and every time it sells for great money. It's up there with Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli. So buy it, sight unseen, as long as it's not missing half of the item.
Yeah, basically yes. The next item we actually found during a thrift with me that we did with you guys. It was the one where we were telling you all about sweaters and what to pick up. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. But this was ugly. And when I mean ugly... We had a whole adorable conversation about how ugly this was. But this was a green mohair sweater. It really reminded us of a really ugly skirt that we also sold that was Anthropologie. But as I suspected, it sold for $30 on eBay.
And this was the old vintage Anthropologie tag,
yes.
So it was very hard for the thrift store to read, which is why it was priced down compared to the newer tags where they recognize them right on site and they upcharge at our stores. Next is going to be a little bit of an asterisk. So what didn't fall quite within our week for the what sold, but we're going to include it anyway. It's going to be St. John. It was a Santana knit blazer.
Yeah.
It was like dead stock, new with tags, vintage.
Yes. Now, this one had actually previously been returned to me, and the reason that I was given for the return was that it was too heavy. If you're a St. John seller, you know that Santana knit is always quite heavy. It's wonderful and great, but it's heavy.
And that's the one you want. You want that,
yes.
So it's confusing.
Yes, they bought it for California weather, and they said that it wasn't good for that, which of course not. But so it resold, and I was really happy to see it resold. It's resold for $122. It was a royal blue color. If you're selling St. John, I know that a lot of people have struggles with it. It's a more mature brand, so it does sell much better on eBay. And also, if you're going to be trying to find keywords for it, dog shows is really where it's most well known. There's even Facebook groups for dog shows on Facebook that you can sell St. John pieces in, so that's another place to try. But I have really great luck with St. John. Just make sure that you're putting Santana knit in there if it is Santana knit, and you're putting in dog shows and that type of thing, and you're marketing it towards the right market. This is a mature brand. It is not for Gen Z.
All right. So the last item is probably the ugliest thing you've sold in a long while.
And I mean, that's a thing to say, considering that I picked up.
That's an accomplishment. So this is the one where you had to go back and reevaluate,
yes,
and change up some of the keywords. We actually got this from Galaxy Finds, didn't we?
The keyword, yes. Yeah, so if you don't follow her, she's great with vintage items, so definitely check her out. I will link her for you guys, but she's amazing, and I always go to her if I'm kind of struggling with a vintage item.
So this was a vintage LL Bean sweater, which was
a fleece?
Fleecy kind of. It was a sweater, but it was kind of like an outdoor active wear kind of deal.
And it had a pattern. What was the pattern?
Puke green with flowers
on
it.
It was not puke green. It was brown.
It was awful. Whatever color. It was not a good color. And then it had flowers on it.
Roses.
Yeah. So you changed the keyword to Happy Gorp, which, for those of you who don't know, is all about bright colors for the pink roses on this, and uplifting and happy outdoors inspired or styled gear and
what
clothing.
does GORP stand for?
It stands for Good Old Raisins and Peanuts.
Yes.
If you know, now you know.
Yeah, so GORP is actually something you can use as well for any kind of activewear type stuff. Apparently it's very popular, even beyond the reselling community, because he knew this without my help.
GORP core is a thing. It's tied into hiking and outdoor activity, and people know it.
Yes, and Happy Gorp is just an offshoot of that, so it's just the more eclectic and bright version of GORP. So if you have activewear that is really bright colored, it's got neons, you've got smiley faces, you've got anything you can think of that makes you happy and bright, dopamine dressing meets athletic wear type thing. Yeah. That's what you're looking for here. We added this keyword, and within a few days, it sold. It sold for $25 on eBay, and I was super happy with that because it had been kind of sitting, and I was thinking maybe
a year and a half. Oh, it was a long time.
It wasn't that long, but it was pretty long, and I was starting to think maybe I was a little bit overzealous when I picked this one up.
All right, now before we get into Mercari and Poshmark, and you're gonna want to stick around because there's some Mercari drama again.
And it's not customer drama; it's Mercari drama.
Yeah, it's
so
Mercari's fault. We do have some channel membership thank yous that we are so past saying thank you. We are very sorry. So Green Rainbow as one of our newest channel members, Lori W, and Reclaimed Threads. And again, we can't tell you, anytime it happens and somebody joins up as a member, it makes our entire day, week, it's all we can talk about for until the next one. It's crazy. We're just going back and forth going, I can't believe someone signed up, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, and these channel memberships mean the world to us. This is one step closer to being able to get him home, which is our ultimate goal. So that $1 a month does go towards that, which we're so grateful that you guys are willing to do that. Most recently in our group, we have been talking about another trending keyword called biker core. We went through, what we would put in biker core, how we would change our listings, and we do this type of thing as often as we can, coming up with new keywords or new ways that you can make sales in your closet. So if that's something you're interested in, you can join the membership in the link down below. Make your own post, ask your own questions, or just come for the posts that we all make in the group. But we'd love to see you there. All right, so let's move into Poshmark.
On to Poshmark, and then we'll do the drama at the end.
Yes. Now, Poshmark was actually really high sale prices, so this one's pretty cool.
So the first one was a Free People cardigan. Sweaters season is back.
Oh, hello, sweater season. We have sold quite a few sweaters. As we said, the ugly sweater earlier. And yeah, sweater season is in This is a slouchy, I think it was called the Breezy Slouchy Cardigan. Very big, oversized, free people, right? And this sold for $38.
So it was size extra small, free people, but it would fit me. It was free people.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Next was a pair of Fry flats. So I won even more, even though
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
I won. You sold Fry. I win. Bask in the glory. Now, most people know them for their boots. They do make other things, anything involving leather. These are a pair of flats sold for $40. Can't complain with that. They do kind of sit for a little bit. They do also have some conditioning issues, but certainly worth a pickup.
The next thing that was on the list was this Dwell and Slumber dress. This dress I was a little bit worried about because I've never heard of the brand before, but it said ethically made on the tag, so I decided to give it a shot. It was also just kind of like comfy, sleep shirt type, and it sold for $37. I still don't know much about the brand. I did some Googling. It looks like maybe a boutique brand, but I think the style sold it, so very happy with that sale.
Next is Straight Out of Your Childhood. We actually talked about this on the reseller recap and mentioned that they had sold a pair of etnies.
Yes, these sold for $41, and I picked this up straight because I wanted to be Avril Lavigne growing up. Who didn't want to be Avril Lavigne, really?
Me. Actually, me.
But they were the vintage kind. I know that there are also current etnies. I did look them up, and it looks like the current ones aren't doing as well. I mean, shocker. But these were black and pink, which Avril Lavigne, again, they were perfect. And people actually commented on it saying how it reminded them of their childhood. So it was just a happy sale all along.
So this is another sweater from our Sweater Live Thrift. So it's the St. James, which we talked about. It was the nice brown with the toggle buttons, captain's or seafaring sweater type deal. Sold for $42, so can't complain there. Sweater season is here. It is New England. It is starting to get cold. They are out. You have to buy them and sell them. They're selling now, and if they don't sell now, they'll sell next year. Yeah,
and I will plug our video again. I'm not going to link it again, but I will plug our video again because you need to be looking for all of the things that we mentioned in that video for sweaters, because I'm telling you, they will fly off the shelf. Now, I'm actually going to jump a little bit on our list because we just talked about a St. James sweater. We also sold a St. James item. We sold a St. James shirt for $26, and we actually learned about the reason this shirt sold in that video that I'm mentioning. The Breton stripe is something that St. James actually created themselves. It has to do with the number of stripes that are on the shirt. I saw this in a thrift store, and normally I would overlook any kind of boring, plain, just striped t-shirt like that. But because I knew that they had actually made this and they're well known for this, I decided to pick it up and give it a shot. It was really cheap. And it sold for $26 really fast. And I had a lot of likers on it, like, as soon as I posted it.
All right, the next is a brand that I've never heard of.
Okay.
Until you brought it home. High Use. You sold a pair of pants for $50. Yeah. You're going to have to take it away.
I never heard of it either, honestly. So I found this at a store that we generally do find a lot of high-end items. And so I kind of will start looking things up a lot more in this store because we're just used to finding stuff there. They were these dress pants that felt very soft and silky. It was very strange. They had really weird pulls on them.
It was almost like dress pants, athletic but soft, comfort. It was very everything
confusing.
All at once together.
Yeah, and I'd never heard of it before. When I Googled it, I did find their website. Maybe we can pull up the website for you. Does look like it sells for quite a bit of money, but honestly, there wasn't a lot of comps out there. So I put these up for, I think, like $125, some ridiculous price. So when I did get an offer for $50, I was like, you know what? You know what this item is? You can have it. I didn't pay close to $50, so there you go. So I'm happy with that. I don't really know what the value is. The only time I've ever found this, but I'd say pick it up if you find it. $50 is great.
Especially for a low amount. It's worth a flyer at worst case.
Yes, but if you guys know what High Use is and you've had experience with it, please leave it in the comments below because I'd love to know more about the brand.
Next is a brand that we kind of dumped on a little bit in the previous video. It's still a great brand. It's Good American. Sold for great money.
This is the second one sold at Good American sold for good money.
In a row.
Are we liars? Is that what this is?
We might be the problem here, not Good American. So, pair of jeans sold for $56. Yeah, buy it all. Buy it all. I retract all of my negative statements about Good American. It has no problem selling.
Do you know that I'm wearing Good American as we speak?
I know.
I am. So.
Yes. So buy all of the Good American and you will have no problems in life.
The next item is Mack Weldon pants. Now this is another new to us brand. I actually thought it was a brand that I had heard about on Instagram and I may have picked it up without looking it up. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. This happened to work out for me because when I did end up looking it up, it still was worth reselling. It just wasn't what I thought it was. So make sure that even if you do know the brand from an Instagram post, YouTube, whatever, that you are comping them. I just didn't do that. So I'm an example of what not to do.
Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, but this ended up reselling for $29, which for athletic wear, that's pretty great. And they ended up being men's when I thought they were women's because they were in the women's section. So it was a whole combination of I got lucky,
experience.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learned something new, and that's the important thing at the end of the day. Next is Faraday. So this is a flannel. So flannels are kind of tied to sweaters.
Yeah.
So it's
flannel season is in. We're in the fall.
Flannels are coming just like sweaters. So go to the flannel section, buy all of them. Who doesn't love wearing soft, comfy flannel? It's the best thing ever. Faraday sold for $30. Sold quick. You bought it and it was like a week or two.
Yeah, it was a beautiful blue color. It sells very fast. Flannels are in. Definitely looking at those LL Beans, rails if you do that. And apparently the biggest flannel brand that I've seen this season is Dixon. So if you don't know about Dixon, it is Dixxon. You need to be looking it up. Go comp that right now on eBay.
Hundreds of dollars.
It's doing great. They have different styles, so some styles are better than others. The long sleeves are better than the short sleeves, but I'm just telling you, you heard it here. Go look up Dixon right now. Ingrain it into your brain. You want to be doing that for flannel season, which is now.
All right, and on to Mercari. You did have one Mercari sale, and it was just the most drama out of everything on this list.
Yes. So what sold, I'll say that, and I'll let him do the drama, was Cabo linen wide leg pants. Now, great style. These sell great for me. They always sell really fast. I definitely recommend picking them up, and they were a really great size, so it was all around perfect item. Yeah. Transaction went smooth. Buyer was wonderful, but then...
Sold for $38.
Yeah,
and great price. Totally worth picking up. So I print out the label, and apparently the U.S. Postal Service has a much more sensitive scale than we do.
Do we believe this based on our experience?
I think it's unlikely because I always overestimate by probably 4 to 5 ounces. And we constantly are getting money back on eBay for
over adjustments all the time. $1 back, 50 cents back.
This was apparently 1 pound, 1 ounce, and because it was no longer qualifying for first class, they charged us an extra $6.
Yes, well, $6 and change. So I'm going to put up on the screen a picture of what Mercari sent us. But yes, we were 1 ounce off, and they charged us $6 in shipping. So if you are a Mercari seller, I'm going to tell you right now, make sure that you are so careful that you don't come close to that 1 pound mark if you're using that shipping label, because they will seriously overcharge you. Like, thankfully for this, we had enough margin that we still ended up making a great profit on the item, but that's not always true.
Yeah.
So that $6 could be most of our profit.
That could be make or break if you have a higher price item that you purchased at the thrift store and it's selling at a discount to what you had hoped it would be because maybe the comps weren't there. So it is incredibly important to be very sure of the weight, because apparently 1 ounce, which I don't even know if I buy, but 1 ounce can make or break the sale.
Yeah, and my complaint here to Mercari, if you're listening, is, I understand if it is something that happens all the time, it is an egregious thing. There are definitely people that charge 1 pound for shoes, which I'm sorry, that's not possible. So go for that. Absolutely overcharge them for the past mistakes. But for one time of 1 ounce, no warnings, no nothing, you just charge my account. That just, to me, is really crappy. And honestly, I don't sell a lot of Mercari anyway, so it definitely does make me think, should I be selling on there? Is it worth it? I don't know. Let me know you guys' experiences. I would love to know if you guys have had this experience with Mercari and what you're going to do about it. Let me know in the comments below. But that is everything we have. We will be back really soon with a new video.
Thank you all for watching.